I got Mills' name up on for Al, but he could be Al Mills today. Mills usually on Sunday show, but of course this is your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. On the weekend, we do it weekend roundtable style. We'll have other cappers stopping in. I believe Ron will definitely be here. I know he said he was coming. I think he just got the time mixed up. It happens because we changed it up. And, well, we got time to talk about yesterday. We saw some favorites go down big and hard in Major League Baseball. We saw Justin Verlander, who I thought was about as close to a lock as there ever is, get beat in Seattle. And, I mean, he didn't just get unlucky. It wasn't like his team let him down or anything like that. He got beat. And that is going to happen. We had, there's Romanelli. We'll add him. There we go. Got the names all mixed up, but that's okay. Lost Brian's name. Anyways, we saw that happen. We saw the comeback in Boston for the Baltimore Orioles. Man, that's about as ugly as it gets. It's a tough way to lose late like that. Well, I think that Dodgers-Phillies error in the ninth inning was about as bad as it gets when it comes to losing. But that one, and then what was the other big upset, Chris? There was another one that was definitely stung. So, the Giants losing to the Reds. That, I know, stung some people as well. So, those are going to happen. And as I always say, 162-game schedule. Most teams are going to lose 55, 65 times a year, even the very, very best of the best teams. I think usually one or two division winners at most have over 100 wins. So that means people are losing 65 times a year. Anyways, Ron, who surprised you the most in baseball yesterday?
It was kind of a crazy game, but I have to say the crazy day of games. But I had to say the Mariners. I did not see that coming. I mean, big time pitching mismatch, Verlander and Flexen, and Verlander got hit hard early, and the Astros bats weren't able to back him up. So I was really surprised to see that.
How about you, El Niños? You usually like a lot of these favorite type teams, and a few of them went down swinging there pretty hard. You seem to have tiptoed your way around a few of them, though.
Yeah. No, I couldn't resist that Verlander trap, though. I mean, come on, you had to go for that one. I think.
Not me, because it was negative odds with the run line. So I will not go there.
I thought you'd lay as many runs as you needed to get that plus money, but anyways, yeah, that looked good to me. I fell for that one. As Ron just said, big pitch and mismatch, and of course, I think the Astros still have the better lineup there, although they haven't always played like it this season. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the biggest shocker there. I managed to avoid a lot of those other big favorites that went down, but definitely fell for that one. I had the Red Sox too. I had the Red Sox.
Well,
that one hurt a little bit.
Jovan and I were talking before the show. A little tough sports day in Boston yesterday. A lot of ex-Red Sox at the Celtics game. They could have used them, I think, over at Fenway Park. Saw Big Papi and Pedro. I saw in the crowd. I think there were some other Red Sox there as well at that game. Maybe some of the current Red Sox were at that game too, because they sure as heck weren't at Fenway Park anymore. The balls were sailing out of the crowd, and then there was an error there in that game too, right? So it's not pretty. I think you might be frozen. And
no, I just came back. If you could hear me.
Yeah, we hear you, but you're not moving. But that's okay.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, as for the Red Sox game, it was looking comfortably. It was looking real comfortable. Whitlock was pitching well, and they took him out at the sixth. That's one of the main gripes that I have in baseball. When your pitcher's just sailing through innings, you put them out there, see what happens. Because with the Red Sox, at least, it can't get any worse than what happened yesterday with that bullpen. And that's happened quite a few times this year with these guys. So that's just across baseball. guys don't go as long as they used to. So, but that's what happens when your guy's sailing, and then you put in a new pitcher. Then the batters start licking their chops. Well, we can't hit this guy, but we're gonna damn sure try to hit these, these also rans basically, in the bullpen. And that's what happened. 10 runs in the last 3 innings.
Well, it's a rare day when Chris, Brian, and I all agree on one bet that I consider one of the strongest plays of the entire year on the board, and we all actually did agree on one, and that was the Miami Heat plus 1.5 for the series against the Boston Celtics. Got minus 130 odds on that, and the gift of all gifts. I really still don't understand how the bookmakers even put that out there. They did. We jumped all over it, and I know a lot of our viewers all were celebrating last night in typical Pick Dogs fashion. I'm spending all mine on hookers and blow. Chris and Brian, what are you doing with your money?
Buying a party sub.
Well, for me, I was kind of worried. I thought the Celtics would definitely win the game yesterday, and I thought we were going to be in trouble. But
Chris, how many party subs can I get with 3 dimes?
Depending on how long you want to go.
Depends how big the sub is, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I put 3 dimes on it, but it was minus 130, so I did not collect the full 3 dimes. Full disclosure. I bet 3 dimes. I didn't bet to win 3 dimes like I normally would. Anyways, still a win is a win. Take it. How about you, Brian? I know that it's got to be bittersweet because we know how much you hate the Heat.
I don't hate any team. I have the same hate for all teams. But I really thought the Celtics would win the game yesterday. I thought the Heat would cover. That didn't happen. The only game that I got right yesterday that was the Seattle Mariners, and I was surprised that the Rays didn't show up. I didn't get nothing off the Yankees. That was surprising to me. The Angels blowing it late against the Jays. So I'm hoping. I like the card today. I think it's a nice little card. So hopefully I can bounce back.
It definitely is a great card today. I think it is a much better card, and we'll get right into it right now. As a matter of fact, we'll head to – there's one NHL game, right? And it's the Hurricane taking on the Rangers. Chris Ruffalo, you want to lead us through this one?
Yeah, it's going to be Game 6 at MSG. I think it's going to be a fantastic game, but I'm still looking at the under in this one. We've only seen 3.6 goals per game across the 5-game series so far, and for me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a little bit juiced towards the under at 5.5. I think you could possibly even play it at 5. I think this is a 3-1 game, but I'm looking at the under 5.5 in this one. I think it's one of my stronger hockey plays on the board today.
How about you, Brian? Any thoughts?
Yeah, for me, I really like the Carolina Hurricanes today, almost a premium play, but I didn't want to have an even number of premium plays, so I left them off the board. I just think this has been a home team dominated series. I just think Carolina wants to put the Rangers away. They are the better team, and you're getting really good odds with them. So I can't pass on Carolina today. I think they take care of business.
How about you, Al Ninos? Any thoughts here?
Should be another great matchup, but unfortunately, I think maybe the Hurricanes could be the better team overall, but the Rangers still got the better goalie. I think they've got the more talented couple players, and they got home ice here, so I'm gonna go with the Rangers to even the series up.
How about you, Romanelli?
Yeah, I'm going to take the over in this game. I know this series has been really low scoring overall, but this is an elimination game, so we could see empty net goals be an issue here for under bettors. If this is a 1 or 2 goal game late, you're going to see the Rangers, if they're down, you're going to see them in desperation mode, pulling their goalie until the last horn. So I do think this could be a lower scoring game throughout, but I do think we're going to see some late goals here, and I think we're going to go over the total, so I'm going to take the over here.
All right. I guess Jovan and I are the ones that didn't get to speak. Jovan, what are you selling today? Pick dogs.
I got a MLB 3-pack going up there. That's about it. $39.99 at the website.
El Ninos.
Got a 5-pack for the MLB and my best bet in the NHL, and then I got a 3-pack of my best 3 bets in baseball if you're just into that, and best bet in each sport as well if you're just looking for one big bet. But yeah, pair me up with your favorite capper for the 2-for-1 capper special is the best way to go.
King of the rundown, Ron Romanelli. What are you selling today?
Yep, I got my Ron's rundown MLB best bet. We've cashed 12 of the last 13 of those best bets, including 5 in a row. Look to cash another one today. I've also got a 3-pack, which gets you 2 MLB plays and then my NHL play of the night.
So 12 of 13, yet I'm still hearing a lot of crying in the comments about people losing. I don't know. It's like, you tell me. It's like I see 2 different types of comments for the rundown. Obviously, Ron has his own following there of the rundown. They're not the. Some of them might be the Mitch haters, and some might be the Mitch fans. But I think he also has a different audience there, which, something that's always awesome for, a place like Pick Dogs. We're always trying to expand the circle a little bit. And I think he has, like, everyone knows that I don't want to talk about yesterday. I do not care about what happened yesterday. I can only focus on today and moving forward. Ron's fans seem to really care a lot about yesterday. And then a lot of them bet a lot of parlays, and it's like you can't tell me you won $2,700 on a parlay and then you can't throw the kid $15 for a premium pick. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, I know Ron doesn't like me to comment like sometimes on his things because he knows I'm going to say something like that. But it's like, I don't understand it. It's like, if you won $8K like you said you did, on your parlay, even if his pick happens to lose, even if you pick that one day out of 13 days in a row that he's hit 12 of them, it's like, seriously, you get the credit back in your account, you play it again, just to throw him a bonus, for giving you the pick. I'm not going to sit here and beg for change or anything. I'm just saying that if you can't say you're not winning when he's giving out 12 of 13 winners in a row, for $15, which is 1/15 of what some of these other guys are charging. Anyways, I'm off my soapbox. You guys, I probably talked in a circle there, but you guys know exactly what I'm saying. Brian, what are you gonna say to confuse?
It's hard to follow. It's hard to follow the junior sharp there, Ron Romanelli, the new king.
Who's
of
the
captains,
senior sharp then? Who is the senior sharp?
I think I'm gonna release my mantle to Mr. Romanelli. He's the man. So. But as far as today, I got my shotgun Saturday night 3-pack, my 3 best bets in Major League Baseball yesterday. Really crapped the bet out. I picked the wrong 3 games to be on, but I'm ready to bounce back today. I like the card in baseball. So 3 plays for $40.
Chris?
Yeah, and for me, I'm going to try to bounce back. Still had a 2-2 day, but want better days than that. We missed just our pickoff play for just the second time, but I'm going to bounce back with that today. I got my $15 pickoff play for the MLB.
All $15 plays, by the way, are guaranteed. They're always guaranteed. If you do a $15, they're all guaranteed.
Yeah. And then I also got an MLB triple play. It's guaranteed as well for $39.95. And 2 other MLB plays as well as the pickoff play in there as well. So check that out over at Pick Dogs Premium.
All right. I got an MLB 3-pack. I got my $15 big play. The big play not in the 3-pack. So I always note it, my 3-pack, if it's there or if it's not there. It just depends on the card, whether I need it to make my 3 or I don't need it. Today I have 3 other plays that I absolutely love, so I made those a 3-pack unto themselves. And then the guaranteed $15 play I hit yesterday. Easy winner with the Toronto Blue Jays. No doubter.
It's not an easy winner. It was the 9th inning. They blew it.
Had it all the way. It was no doubter. It was so easy. It was so easy. Of course, if you have my long-term packages, I did not sell the pick individually, but I put it there for the long-term subscribers. I had the Miami Heat on the money line at plus 350 against the Celtics last night. Another no doubter. So, yeah, that's the second time we've hit the Heat in this series. Money line at plus 250 or better. So. Both those wins in Boston that the Heat won. If you bet both those games on the money line, it really doesn't matter what's happened in any other game. You're up big, right? So it's like you're plus 600 on those 2 games alone. It's only a 7-game series, so your plus money for the series. If you just had those two plays, that's why I like those money lines. But anyways,
Hey, Mitch.
oh yeah, Al, I did not see you. All right,
Oh, that's okay. I just wanted to jump in, because I was doing some research, and it kind of dovetails into what my research was. So I was looking at the last 32 years, and I took a look at how all the teams that win straight up in an NBA playoff game, how they do against the spread. And historically, it's about 80, put on my glasses here, I think it's 83.4%. But the last 2 years are kind of off the charts. This year, if you win the game straight up in the playoff game, you're 71-9 ATS. So that has implications for money line plays. Last year, if you won the game straight up, you're 81-4 ATS. So combined the last 2 years, 152-13 ATS if you won the game straight up.
Yeah, I think this year it's 6-0 right in this series.
Yeah, and then you and I also talked about it earlier in the year, how crazy the NBA point spread differentials have been lately. In the playoffs, it's even worse. This year in the playoffs is the greatest point spread differential in any of the 32 seasons in my database. The average game has fallen 11.93 points away from the point spread. Last season, it was 11.21 in the playoffs. And those two numbers are much greater than even the regular season. This year's regular season was 10.62, and last year the regular season was 10.70. So now in the playoffs, it's up to 11.93 this season. So it's just insane. I guess, and it's, from my perspective, it's not even entertaining, with these blowout games. But that's a story for another day.
Well, the most insane thing that I've heard is that people say that they had losing days when Ron is on a 12-1 run on his rundown pick. Anyways, so crazy things do happen. But anyways, Al, what do you have going on today? I know that you like the Celtics 4-2 in this series. You did not like our Heat plus a game and a half at -130. We're all doing hookers and blow with our winnings, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Boston winning 4-2 was the most likely outcome. Obviously, it didn't come to pass. I have 5 plays today, 1 in the USFL. I've got 3 in baseball, including a division game of the year. I've got 1 in hockey, and I've already posted for Sunday the Game 7 winner between Boston and Miami, and I've got another USFL play for Sunday action.
Which reminds me that I don't think I graded one of your USFL picks. I have to go back and do that.
We got time
from last week. I will get that. But anyways, yeah. So the thing is that I could joke around with Al about missing his 4-2 on that, because I think historically he has the best record of everybody on the internet as far as internet cappers go, or handicappers, not internet phone line guys. I think he has the best record of everybody. So
Al's number one.
Yes.
Number one.
So when you get one, well, you got to take it when you don't agree. But man, it's been a great run. Prepping for the Belmont as well. I'm sure 2 weeks away from that one. We'll have our Derby winner. We'll be back for that one as well.
I haven't been following it. Has Epicenter announced whether or not he's going to run?
I haven't heard. We're still a couple weeks away. They usually it's 3 weeks in between for Belmont. So
yeah, it's, I think June 11th.
I don't know if he's got the distance. It just seems he's been, he got run down. Last race he got blocked off a few times, but the first race he got run down, which is not a good sign for the Belmont. But oddly enough, the Belmont usually comes at the lead. The horse is normally on the lead. It seems like.
I don't know if this is fully accurate, but it looks like they announced that Epicenter was skipping the Belmont.
Yeah, I kind of expected that he would.
Early voting and Epicenter.
Seems these horses are more fragile and fragile every single year, and it's like they run less and less. Whatever happened to John Henry? Ran like every week. And Cigar. Remember Cigar? He ran like every week too. Anyways, speaking of running every week, we got Major League Baseball. This is the gift that keeps on giving all summer long. Got a lot of games on the board for today. We started off in Cincinnati. I'm on the wrong day. We started off here with the Nationals taking on the Rockies. We've got the Red Sox taking on the Orioles, the scene of the crime. And we've got the Twins taking on the Royals. Chris, you want to get us started? You're muted.
Sorry about that. Sorry for game one of that Rockies National Series. I'm gonna still go with the Rockies. I might go with the Rockies in the doubleheader sweep here. I just want no part of Aaron Sanchez, and even though Austin Gomber's had his issues, still think the Rockies could wake up on the road. They looked sluggish on Friday, but nothing cures that like facing Aaron Sanchez and Yohan Adon. But we'll talk about that one later. But I like the Rockies there. I like the Orioles in the first half of the doubleheader. Haven't been a Nathan Eovaldi fan. I've said that all season. And I think we could get some value with Jordan Lyles here. And I like that over between the Kansas City Royals and the Minnesota Twins. Brady Singer and Chris Archer, need I say more?
Bryant?
I'm going to stick to what I liked yesterday in the Rockies Nationals. I'm going to take over in game one with Gomber and Aaron Sanchez on the mound. I think Sanchez alone could get close to this total. I think you had Gomber in there. He's not as good on the road. And then the Baltimore Orioles, I'm going to take them on the run line plus the 1.5. I believe it's around -110. Jordan Lyles off 2 competent starts in a row. And Eovaldi, I think he's overpriced here. I'll take the Orioles to plus 1.5.
Jovan?
Yeah, I see a lot of runs in the Red Sox Orioles game. You know, just the way the the bullpens, especially the Red Sox bullpen, not so much for the Orioles. They're actually halfway decent, but yeah, I see over in that game. 9.5's not. It's not going to hold them. I think 10 runs at least get scored in this one. Take a shot with the Royals and that plus money. You know, Brady Singer. You know, he should have a decent start. I don't know how long he'll go in the game, but then you know you're dealing with the bullpen there. But I take a shot with them. And I would say Colorado, but they're just so bad on the road. That's just a pass on that game. So
Al Ninos.
I'm gonna go with the Red Sox -1 in this segment. Very disappointing loss yesterday, but still think they have the better lineup here. Not like these two teams have a great starter, but so you could look at the over as well, but that's pretty high. And I'd rather just take the Red Sox -1.
Ron, you think Nathan Eovaldi's got a chance to go 6 home runs in one inning? I mean, five was impressive. You know, you got a shot at 6 here.
Yeah, I say we shoot for 7, but
Why stop at 6?
Yeah, why stop at 6? But in that Rockies Nationals game 1, I think if the Rockies were going to win a game in this doubleheader, this would be the game with Gomber against Sanchez. You know, Sanchez has given up at least 1 homer in his last 5 starts, at least 6 base hits in his last 5 starts as well. Most of the games he's pitched in have gone over the total, so I lean towards the over as well. But I do think Gomber, you know, coming off a really good start against the Mets, 7 innings, 2 earned runs at Coors Field, I think he pitches well here. So give me the Rockies on the money line and lean to the over in that game 1.
Yeah, and that at Fenway Park, it's 15 mile an hour wind blowing to that short porch and right. Al, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I agree with most of the panel here. I'd lean to Colorado in the first game of the doubleheader. The only thing that gives me pause is, you know, they're a terrible road team over the last few years. Eovaldi, I would lean to as well, just because he enjoys pitching against Baltimore's last 2 starts, 0 earned runs over 13 innings in his career, 7-2, with a nice ERA as well. But Boston's not very good after allowing, a lot of runs like they did last night. 14-22 after allowing 9 runs or more. Still, I'd probably lean to the Red Sox in that game. I do like the Twins just because of the price. You take a look at how Minnesota's done, as a favorite, 21-8 this season, plus 9.5 net games, including 9-1 at home when priced from -125 to -175. So I would look at Minnesota again here to win another game against Kansas City.
I see Sanchez, Gomber, Eovaldi, Lyles, Archer, and Singer all in one time slot. I say yes to the Yerfie here. All 3 runs, I like yes run first inning. I just don't see it any other way. I see a lot of runs first inning. I think Chris Ruffalo is probably digging through the numbers here as we're talking about it, trying to see what we can get on the 1.5 runs in the first inning and some of these matchups, or all of them. Normally you got to get to the good pitchers early. I mean, when do you get to these guys? All the time? It just seems that all of these pitchers are certainly susceptible to being hit. Not just one side of the equation either. I mean, we've got 6 pitchers fully capable of a Yerfie here.
Pick
a game.
A run in each half of the first inning.
Yeah, this is
some good odds there.
This is the Yerfie special. I love the Yerfie to begin with, but this is what the Yerfie was made for right here.
Pick a game. I can tell you.
How about the Red Sox? Or Sanchez, Gomber. I mean, Gomber. You want to talk about a guy who's been a letdown this season? Austin Gomber.
So, if you want first over 1.5 runs at plus 190, you go over 2.5 at plus 475, or over 3.5 at plus 1225.
I was going to ask Romanelli what the expected on Gomber is. He has all of that stuff. Is he actually better or worse than what we've seen from him? But we lost him here. But anyways, we'll roll to our next set of games. Got the Cardinals, Brewers. We've got the A's and the Rangers, and the Tigers and the Guardians now listed as Fado and Bieber officially. Big Al, what do you think of these?
I would definitely take a look at Shane Bieber in this situation. And again, it's price. It's dependent on the price. I mean, you take a look at what Cleveland has done with him on the hill when they're priced from -125 to -175. They've won 16 out of 17 starts with Bieber. So that's the only way I'm going to look there. He's also done well against Detroit in his career. 6-3 versus Detroit with a 2.31 ERA. What was the other one you mentioned? Can't remember.
Cardinals, Brewers, A's, Rangers, Tigers, Guardians.
Oh, fuck. I don't want any part of the pitchers in the Texas-Oakland game. And I've got a Pick Dogs premium play on the other one. Did you mention Miami, Atlanta, or not?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah. Pass on Texas Oakland.
Al Ninos?
I like the A's here to get the job done at home, and I guess I'm gonna have to give Bieber another shot here. -1. I think I backed him last week. He pitched well, but I believe they lost that game, didn't they? Last time he pitched against the same pitching matchup last week. But anyways, I'll give him another shot here, and yeah, that's what I got for these plays.
So Ron Romanelli has lost power. That's what happened. Jovan, what do you got in these 3? Jovan's frozen. Ron lost power. Brian?
Yeah, in these 3 games, I'm going to go back to the Detroit Tigers at +1.5. I wasn't sure about the pitching matchup, but now I know it's Fado. I'm not going to be fading Fado. I just think it's a 1-run game. They had success last time they faced off with Bieber. I think with a 1.5, you're all right with the Tigers. And Brewers and Cardinals, that was in the time slot, I believe. I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers with Hauser on the mound. He's been pretty reliable this season. And it looks like the Cardinals have a bullpen game going. So for me, I'll take the Milwaukee Brewers. The price does seem a little light, though.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Brewers. I don't know if St. Louis is employing a full bullpen. They're trying to get Liberatore going. He threw 4 2/3 in his debut. But again, Milwaukee's just been playing quietly been playing some of the best baseball in the majors, and 29-17 on the year, not bad at all. And I think they can get to Liberatore here. I'm not a Hauser fan by any stretch, but I think he can be serviceable here and help us get a win at a coin flip price. And I'm going to stick with the Cleveland Guardians. I like Shane Bieber. I think it's a favorable matchup against this Detroit Tigers team. I like Alex Fado, but I think this one's Shane Bieber's.
Jovan, we're at Cardinals, Brewers, A's, Rangers, and Tigers, Guardians. Anything on these three?
Yeah, I can only touch the over in the Texas Oakland game. These two pitchers, they're just horrible. Not only that, the last 5 games, both of these teams have hit lefties. So, I'm running with this over, this 7.5. You saw what happened yesterday. I expect more of the same.
I had a premium pick yesterday on the Tigers on the run line at plus a run and a half at minus 135 ish, and I would stick to that again. I think that the Guardians just terrible on the road on the run line. They've just been hideous. So no reason to believe that even with Bieber here, 3-2 if they win. They win 3-2. If they lose, 3-2. I think it's a 3-2 type game. 4-3. You don't see a lot of 4-3 games, right? 3-2, 2-1, 5-4 even. I would say 4-3 is rare. Wonder what it is. Wonder what the number actually is. That is, but I like that one. I think the Cardinals Brewers is just a tough one for me because on just the eye test, I would say the Brewers, but knowing the field test, the Cardinals at home against the divisional opponent. Really not where I want to be. And the Brewers, once again, another team lousy on the run line against the division. Just terrible against the division on the run line games. So it's like, it's going to be tight. It's going to be super tight. And you have, I think when you look at pitching across the board on the Brewers, it's certainly better than the Cardinals pitching, right? Burns, Woodruff, Peralta, Hauser, so on and so forth, right? And then when you go to, the bats, I think the Cardinals have the edge there. Hader, Goldschmidt, Arenado, I think are just a deeper set of bats there for the Cardinals. It's just a super even series type thing. Go to our next set of games, and it's going to be the Braves and the Marlins. Al was waiting for this one. We got the Rays and the Yankees and the Reds and the Giants. Al, what do you think? Big Al.
Oh, I didn't. I thought you meant Al Ninos. I think it's there's only one way you can look here in the Miami Atlanta game. I think it's on the Miami Marlins. Alcantara has been terrific in his career versus Atlanta. 6-3, 2.40 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP. Tucker Davidson, in his home starts for Atlanta, the Braves have gone 1-5. Alcantara has given up just 1 earned run in his last 3 starts versus the Braves, covering 23 innings. I think you got to look, at Miami with Alcantara in this game.
Al Nino's got Garrett Cole on the mound here for the Yankees. One of your buddies. You're a big Cole, Kershaw, Verlander. Pretty much the Hall of Fame starting rotation automatics for you. What do you think of these three?
I'll agree. I'll take a shot with the Marlins, but I'd rather look at them in the first 5 innings, whether it's on the money line or on the, let me see. Yeah, no, probably just money line. It's a bit too juicy with a plus half run. And you said Cole, and the third one was the Giants Reds.
Yes.
I gotta go with the Giants -1 here. Or actually, you could bet the money line and then -2.5 because the -1.5 isn't really paying much.
All right. Jovan?
Let's see.
Might have froze up. Brian?
Yeah, for me in the Miami Marlins Atlanta Braves game, I'm going to go with the under 8 here. I expect a really good game from Alcantara, and Tucker Davidson has looked bad, but the Marlins aren't scoring a ton of runs, and I think Davidson can at least get a competent start here. I'll take the under 8, and the Rays and Yankees. I'm going to go with the over 6.5 here. I think Garrett Cole could get touched up for 4 or 5 runs, and I think Kluber will give up his share along with the bullpen. So I'll take the over Yankees and Rays.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rays, just flat on the money line. I think Garrett Cole. The Yankees struggled to put the Orioles away in back-to-back starts with Cole on the mound. And if he's supposed to be your top-tier guy, you expect a little bit more convincing performance from him. I think Tampa Bay getting a ton of value as a home underdog here, and I think they can take one from the Yankees. And I'm gonna go with the San Francisco Giants Cincinnati Reds over 9.5. As well as San Fran's team total over as well. Vladimir Gutierrez going for the Reds, and while Gutierrez was a guy I made money with last season, he's historically struggled at home, and it's been no different this season. I think Alex Wood's going to have some issues of his own, but I do think that the Giants get more than enough off of Gutierrez to help us out here.
Jovan, Brave Marlins, Rays, Yankees, Reds, Giants.
Yeah, I could only go with the better pitcher in the Marlins Braves game. Getting even money basically, so I could only rock with that. I would have to take Tampa Bay on the run line, but then you're laying odds, so that's one of the things. It's not enough plus money to, if you do take it on the run line, it shifts. So that's one thing that you have to have some trepidation on. And I'll take a shot with the Reds. I understand Gutierrez is, not doing so well at home, but I like the plus money in that one. So take the Reds in that.
Ron Romanelli is now back with us. We're at the Braves, Marlins, Rays, Yankees, and Reds, Giants.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about that, guys. My power just went out of nowhere. But for that Rays-Yankees game, I really expected the Rays to kind of sharpen up this series. They hate these Yankees, and they usually play really well against them. But the first 2 games just didn't look like they were even competitive at all. And I don't think it's going to get any easier against Cole here. Kluber, I don't think, is a great option for him on the mound, and I do think Cole pitches well in this spot. The Rays lineup is just really struggling. They're missing some key bats, and I think right about now they're missing Austin Meadows, really. So I'm going to take the Yankees here on the money line.
I had a question for you on the earlier games because you're a guy that answers these type of questions. Austin Gomber, and pitching in the first game for the Rockies. Is he pitching? Is his numbers better than they should be or worse than they should be? Because I think he's been one of the bigger disappointments this season.
Well, I can tell you right now what the expected numbers are. So Gomber right now has a 4.11 ERA and a 4.21 FIP. So, a little room for regression there. But when you look at his xFIP, it's at 3.76. So he's actually pitching a little bit better than what his ERA may suggest. The only thing is his strikeout numbers are way down. So last year he had 8.82 Ks per 9. This year all the way down to 6.65. So that's the biggest issue. But he is limiting more walks and home runs this season. Just has to get those strikeouts up.
Just doesn't seem to be the same guy. Maybe he'll be a second half of the guy. Second half of the season, we get some good value on him.
Yeah.
For me, on these 3 games, I like the Yerfie on all 3 once again. I'm going to just say yes to the Yerfie. I am all about the Yerfie, and I just think it is one of the best bets on the board every single day. I just think when you have ace pitchers, the old saying is you got to get them early, and I think, it's which leads to the Yerfie. It's the dead ball era, which leads more of the public, the bad bettors, onto the Nerfie, and people they just love the Nerfie, and it's like if they love the Nerfie, then the books love the Yerfie. I mean, we know that much, right? I mean, so I'm going Yerfie, all 3. Go to our next set of games. Nationals against Rockies, game 2. We've got the Red Sox and the Orioles, game 2. and we've got the Diamondbacks against the Dodgers. Chris, why don't we start with you, because the Red Sox have a pitcher I can't pronounce, so normally you normally straighten this one out for us.
I'll do my best. See here, we got Josh Winkowski, and I don't see anybody for the Orioles in Game 2 just yet, but I still think I would take a shot with the Orioles here. I think you at least hit 1 or 2 in the doubleheader, and I'm also, like I said earlier, I still like the Rockies. I know they're terrible on the road, and Chad Kuhl's regressed a lot from the pitcher that had the hot start to the season. But even though he's had a couple capable outings, there's no backing Yohan Adon for me here. 1-8 with a 6.97 ERA this season. The Nats just don't win with him on the mound, and I think even against Colorado, I think he's going to have some issues.
I think Adon's just had some tough luck. Brian?
I'm going to agree with Mr. Ruffalo here. I'm going to take the Rockies here with Chad Kuhl, who looked better in his last start. Only went, I think, 4 1/3, but Adon, he's not the guy I'd want to take with the Nationals today. I'm going to roll with Colorado. And then the other game, Dodgers and Diamondbacks. It's tough for me to get off the Arizona Diamondback bandwagon, even though they haven't looked good last 2 games. I'm going to take Arizona plus the 1.5 of Merrill Kelly on the mound. 3-2, 3.49 ERA. He has got hit around a little bit last 2 starts, but I think he bounces back.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot with the Red Sox. This is just on the strength of, the Orioles don't have a book on this guy, Josh Winkowski. And they're not good hitters to where they could adjust, to facing somebody they've never seen before, so just on the strength of that. Game 2, don't know what's going to happen in Game 1, so I think Game 2 the Red Sox should get this one.
Al Niños.
Yeah, trying to see the lines for this Game 2 here, but yeah, it's hard to find anyway, but if it's any of the totals anywhere under 10, I like the over in that one. And I like the under in the Dodgers Diamondbacks game.
Ron Romanelli.
Yeah, for that Game 2, Rockies Nationals, I'm going to take the over. On Adon, a big problem with the walks this season, and really in his entire career. 5.88 walks per 9 this season. 5.06 walks per 9 the year before, and in limited time with the Nationals, and even throughout the minor leagues, had issues with putting runners on base. What you would think is, if he has trouble putting people on base, he probably has good strikeout stuff, but he's only got 7.62 Ks per 9, so he's well below average in strikeout numbers. So that's usually a really bad combo. I'm going to take the over in that game. Chad Cole also starting to get hit quite a bit for the Rockies. And in the other game, Orioles Red Sox, I don't have a play on it, but I just wanted to mention Josh Winkowski's stats. Pitching pretty well in AAA this season. In 31 2/3 innings, he's got a 3.98 ERA, a .853 WHIP, 9.7 strikeouts per 9, so good strikeout numbers, limiting walks to only 1.7 walks per 9, and limiting homers to only 0.6 home runs per 9. So he is pitching well in AAA, but this is the big leagues. We'll see how he does.
Big Al.
Well, I know 2 years ago, the White Sox had that really big dichotomy between lefties and righties. They were kind of pedestrian versus righties, and they were exceptional versus lefties. And it's starting, not as extreme as it was 2 years ago, but it's starting kind of again this year. They're 7-4 versus southpaws, 15-18 versus righties. I know Keegan Thompson's, not the greatest pitcher in the world, but I'll take a flyer with the Cubs since he's a righty, and taking plus $1.25 against the Chi Sox. I would love to try to go against Tony Gonsolin and the Dodgers, but I just can't do it with Merrill Kelly. He's 0-6 in his 9 starts in his career versus the Dodgers. He's gotten, overall he's faced them twice this season. Overall he's gotten bombed. Gonsolin's been effective, or somewhat effective, in his 2 starts versus Arizona this year. So maybe a shaky nod to Arizona as a home dog, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, for me, I just, you know, I don't know. Chad Cole, like if I had a kid, Chad Cole would easily have paid for their college education just betting against this guy throughout his career. I mean, this guy's terrible, and he's regressing back to those type of numbers. I just think that this one's going to be a slugfest, and I just think the Nationals, we've seen them put up some big numbers against much better than this. And I think Adon is as good as his potential is, as Ron Romanelli said. I mean, he's got a 7 ERA, and Romanelli says he's actually worse than that, which is, you know, so there's nowhere to go here for him but up. You know, he's going to show the stuff. I mean, you got Josiah Gray and Adon on the same team. You know, you're talking about a lot of time out in the field for your defense. I don't know. Maybe today's his day. You know, game 2 of a doubleheader. This could be his spot. I'm going to go with the Nationals in that one. The Rockies also miserable. Absolutely miserable of miserable traveling east. When they go east, they lose a lot. Like all the time. Not all the time, but 6 in a row. You know, and it's like most of that losing that we saw last season on the road was east. The further east they go, the worse they get. It's like the Cubs can't win west. The Rockies can't win east. It's the same thing. So if we like them in game 1 of the doubleheader, we can't like them in game 2. That's for sure. So I'm going to go with the Nationals here. I think Adon gets into the win column again, second time this season. And I don't know what's going on in that Baltimore Red Sox game. Too tough to call for me, and I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Gutierrez against Wood in Cincinnati just because I can and because Brian just irks him just to hear Gutierrez's name. We go to our next set of games. We got the Mets taking on the Phillies. We've got the White Sox and the Cubs. And we've got the Angels taking on the Blue Jays. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I was looking at these games quite intently. I like the New York Mets on the money line. Taijuan Walker, not necessarily my favorite pitcher, but he's pitched pretty well, and he's very familiar with these Phillies. I think he's already made 4 starts against them this season, but for me, it's about Zach Eflin. I think I'm still seeing Eflin as the starter here. A 7.07 ERA on the road this season, and I think the Mets still playing some of the best ball in the NL East right now. I think they take it to the Phillies here, so I'll take the Mets there. And I'm going to go with the Chicago White Sox on the money line. Maybe push it run line if I'm feeling a little bit froggy here. But I like Johnny Cueto, back-to-back 6-inning shutouts to start the season. Looks like he hasn't skipped a beat. And the Cubs, I can't figure this team out. It's a slippery slope for me backing them. So I'm going to take the White Sox on the money line there.
I thought you were going to say it looks like he hasn't skipped a meal. Brian, what do you think?
That would be me.
It wouldn't be a White Sox-Cubs matchup without me back in the Chicago Cubbies here. I'm going to take the best team in Chicago, the Cubs here. Keegan Thompson probably only going to go 3 or 4 innings, which worries me. I think Johnny Cueto will have a good game. I'm also like the under in the White Sox-Cubs, under 8.5. I think it goes under the total. Toronto Blue Jays and Angels. I'm going to get back on the Angels bandwagon. Lorenzen, usually a guy that the Angels can win for. Kikuchi, I think he's overperforming so far this season. I like the Angels in this spot.
Jovan?
Yeah, I like the under in this Phillies-Mets game. Maybe first 5, but I would say more towards the full game. Both of these pitchers have been pitching well lately. You know, Zach Eflin, I think, has been pitching decent all year. And since Taijuan Walker's been back, you know, he's been pitching well. So take a shot with the under in this one.
El Niños.
I hate to do it, but I have to disagree with Jovan here. I think this game goes over. I mean, it's not my strongest play here, but I would take this game to go over here. I would look at the under in the Cubs White Sox game, and I do like the Angels and the Angels Blue Jays.
Ron Romanelli.
Yeah, as much as Al didn't want to disagree with Jovan, I'm jumping for joy to disagree with Al. I'm going to take the under in that game. I think Zach Eflin's after having one of his best starts of his career, top 98th percentile in average exit velo, top 95th percentile in expected ERA. He's pitching really well for the Phillies, and I do think the Mets are actually in quite a bit of trouble going forward. Not only do they have some injuries in that rotation, Max Scherzer now down, DeGrom still not pitching, Tyler McGill. But you look at their schedule in June. I got to go over some of the games here. They start with a 4-game trip at the Dodgers. Then they go 3 games at the Padres. Then 3 games at the Angels. I mean, that's just all road games right there. Then they go home against the Brewers. Then they go home against the Marlins, and then back on the road against the Astros, Marlins, and then they end the month with the Astros again. If there was a month where the Mets kind of put themselves out of a playoff race, which we've seen before from this team, I think June is the month. I'm not saying, they're 13 games above 500 right now, so that's going to have to take a lot of losing to take them out of the race because all the teams in the NL East are struggling. But, man, these are the Mets, and we know the Mets. And I think June is not going to be a good month for this team. They're 24th in average exit velocity on offense. They're number 1 in BABIP hitting-wise. I think they're in trouble in June. I'm going to take the under in Phillies-Mets, and I'm going to take the Phillies as well.
Throwing Buck Showalter managing the ball club, and it sounds like it's going to be a magical June to be fading the Mets.
Yep.
Big Al?
Oh, of these games, are we on the 10 o'clock games or just the 7 o'clocks?
We're at the 7 o'clocks, leaning into the 10:07 Angels game.
Okay, so not the 2 10-10 games.
No, those will be the next segment.
Nothing interesting in these games. I talked about the Cubs White Sox earlier, so I'll take the roof and I'll pass on this time slot.
Everyone knows when it comes to baseball, 2 of my favorite things are Johnny Cueto and the Chicago White Sox. And this year I've got the magical combination of the 2 coming together. Johnny Cueto, one of the most underrated pitchers of our generation. The best ERA of any pitcher at Great American Ballpark, where he also pitched the most games. Second best hitter's ballpark in America. This guy has a full run ERA lower than anybody else. And that is showing that this guy can flat out pitch when he's on his game. When he's off his game, well, he's absolutely terrible. But this season, it's been the good Johnny Cueto so far. He's given up 8 hits total, no runs, 12 strikeouts, 4 walks, no home runs, going 95 pitches last time out. This guy is large and in charge just when the White Sox needed him. These are the type of guys that the White Sox get, that they end up going a good season for them. And, they get everything they can out of them, and they manage them correctly. And I'll tell you what, the Cubs, we could sit here and do the Bitler math of how 8 games below 500 is better than 500. But any way you slice it, 8 games below 500 is not better than 500, especially a 500 team that had an 8-game losing streak in there at one point. So I don't see it. I don't see Keegan Thompson being better than first ballot Hall of Famer Johnny Cueto. I don't see any of these things all coming together for you there. I think it's going to be an ugly day on the South Side for the North Siders. And the Chicago White Sox are a team that plays against the Cubs team in a city. Generally, those teams, this is their chance to rise to the occasion and to show everybody, to the Giants all the time. The Angels, against the Dodgers, not so much. But the White Sox